Well, because it's Exeter City, isn't it? So that's it. That's what motivates me, I suppose. Having things that keep my memories of the club and all my time supporting the club. So lots of things. Games I've been to, some games I haven't, but yeah, all just brings back memories of perhaps a mischievous life spent far too often in the cowshed and when I started on the St James's Road end and then on the Big Bank and all over. So that's why I do it. Yeah, so these were like handbooks. I mean, they were, you'll see they're called city reviews. So they were like handbooks that were made mainly in the late 60s, well, in fact, I think early 60s, into the 70s, and just into the 80s. And they're like a season review. Sometimes they used to be on sale in the hut over in the far corner, and they never came on sale until well into the season after. But they were always great fun to have. And again, they're full of just fantastic pictures and memories. I know you've used some of them. I mean, what a picture. Georgie Best with Shearing saving it. I'm over there somewhere, just under the stanchion in the cowshed. You've used the one with Eric Morecambe in the changing rooms having his face slapped. There's a whole host of fantastic memories in these little books. I wish they did them. I wish they did them now. It would be a good seller, I think. So yeah, I've got most of the 70s. I've got some from the 60s, and I think I've got a couple into the early 80s. So I did have one with Tony Keller's autograph on, but I gave it to me mate because he loved Kells as well. So yeah, so these are benefits or testimonial programs. I probably didn't go to all of them, but I went to quite a few, and they go back over the years as well, and very interesting that they're not just the players. So you got Sonny Clark's testimonial. Sonny was the groundsman. I'm not sure whether it's here. Maybe the guys are scanning it, but there's one for Pat Wakeham, who was club secretary. But then all your old favourites. Nicky Jennings, fantastic chap. Flacky, Alan Beer, and then more up to date, perhaps Chris Curran, Weave, Stevie Neville, Kells, and that's Adam Stanfield's benefit match. But yeah, I've got a lot of others. I've got players who perhaps people don't remember, like Brian Sharples, Jim McNichol. So yeah, again, an opportunity just to have. It's a nice memory. Nice to see who played against them. Was it Nicky Jennings' match? Didn't they play Notts Forest? And they brought down Trevor Francis when they just signed him. So that was the first sight anybody got of your £1 million man. And you look through that list. My God, Shilton, Viv Anderson, Larry Lloyd, Martin O'Neill, Archie Gemmell. Oh dear, Bowyer, Woodcock, John Robertson. All people who had they won the European Cup then, maybe, or just before they won the European Cup.
What are the testimonial games like? They don't happen as much anymore, do they?
They don't happen as much, no. Well, I mean, it very much depends, I guess. I suppose, when it is in the season. They're not massive. You don't get massive attendances, but having said that, people do turn up. I remember Scotty Hiley's. I don't think Scott's is here. A lot of people turned out for Scott's testimonial. Great servant to the club. So, and they were just appreciative of who did turn up. It was, everything was a bonus. That was what it was all about. It was just something to recognise their service, give them an opportunity to perhaps get may have been a joke side, that played against you, or as with some of them, it wasn't a bad side. You know, Kells had Leicester City, which, when you look at that, there's not too many famous names there, but then most of Kells' team was the team that had won the league for City. So that was a draw in itself.
Do you have a particular favourite of the testimonials?
Well, of the programmes, it would be Kells, just because of the stuff that's written in here. There's a fantastic piece by Derek Lean, who I think was with the Western Morning News. Was he with the Western Morning News? Not sure whether he was with the Echo. And a bit from Kells himself, which is quite short, but you know, it's just a big thank you to the supporters who he loved. He really did. And it was pretty mutual. Bit at the bottom of what Derek Lean wrote. As for piracy, well, surely that original fee of 2,500 would have been regarded as little enough outlay to seize such a prize by certain Devon seafarers of history I could mention. 2.5 grand. Oh dear, oh dear. He would have been worth that if there'd have been about 6 noughts on the end. What a boy. Yeah, so these are cup matches, and again, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have these if I hadn't gone to them. So you know, these are definite memory joggers for me. Go back the furthest, I guess, Exeter versus Manchester United. All the programmes were always in red, and for Man United the front was blue. That was a cracking game, absolutely cracking game. Banksy making Stepney grovel in the back of the net, and if the second one had been allowed, who knows what might have happened. And then what have we got? How many years after? 2005, what's that? 46 years later, United again, supposedly when it saved the club, but we would have saved ourselves anyway. And I was lucky enough to go to that and get a ticket for the replay. When Ferguson finally woke up and smelt the coffee and thought he better put a decent team out. And then I haven't got all from the famous 81 Cup run, because I went to most of them except Millwall, where I wasn't brave enough to go there, but I saw all the others. I went to Maidstone, I went to Newcastle, I went to Leicester, and I went to Tottenham. And yeah, what a fantastic cup run. What a fantastic team. Fantastic support. And yeah, well, if they hadn't have crocked Ian Pearson and he hadn't been taken off, I still don't think they would have beaten us. Spawny gits. Shouldn't say that, should I? With Mr. Perriman playing in the same match, but we I mean, if you look at the old video of that, or I think it's on one of Kelsey's the DVD, City played some fantastic football. They really did. And I mean, that was an awful day as well. I mean, the pitch was a nightmare. But obviously, you know, Newcastle United replay. What can you say, eh? Catch the bus up to the ground. Hatchie, not Holmes, Hatchie's corner. 4-0, get on the bus, go home and watch it on Sports Night with Coleman or whatever the midweek match was. So I got to see it twice, all on the same night. It was better live, mind. And then Liverpool. Yeah, I haven't got them here, but I've been to Anfield 3 times. So I went for the very first League Cup match, which was 2-0. Bloody Fairclough, super sub. Then I went to the first leg of the 11-0 aggregate drubbing, but that was a cracking day out. And then I went to this one, obviously, after we'd drawn at home with them. Bit disappointing, that one. Yeah, so these are our 3 visits to the hallowed ground. So yeah, Morecambe, 2007. Started off all right, didn't it? Lee Phillips got even better when Jonesy was the first person to save a penalty at the new Wembley, and then it just went downhill after there. And I think you could see the difference when they went back, because it was only a season later, wasn't it? 1 season later, and when they went back, you only had to look at their faces and their body language, It was no smiles. It was very little recognition of the crowd until afterwards. It was, we've been here before and we enjoyed it and got a kick up the ass this time. We're here to win, and win they did, and that was a brilliant day. That was the Dogs. And then we went again, didn't we, last season? And still think we were the better team, and I still think we should have won. But, if history repeats itself, we've been once and went immediately after and won, so hopefully we'll just do it automatic, but maybe that's the omen. And yeah, great memories, fantastic support for the city. Brilliant. To be able to say you've been to Wembley 3 times with your hometown club, it's great, isn't it?